Hello, grade 4. Last time we talked about the human respiratory system, and we said that the respiration process, it is a process by which human get energy or obtains energy from burning food. And we said burning means mix with oxygen. Burning means burning with oxygen and produce energy and carbon dioxide gas. So the respiration process is also process by which we get oxygen and release or remove or expel carbon dioxide gas. Now respire or breathe. What do you notice? You notice that first you take air inside your lungs. In this case, your rib cage move upwards. This is called inhalation process. After that, what happened? The air expelled out the lungs or get out from your lungs, and the rib cage moves downward, and we remove carbon dioxide gas. So it's called exhalation process. It means the respiration process includes two processes. Inhalation process, by which the air contains oxygen or rich in oxygen enter the lungs, and exhalation process is a process by which air contains carbon dioxide gas moves out of the lungs. This is come from what? Do you remember? We said that the trachea divided into two bronchi, and each bronchus divided into small bronchioles. Each bronchioles ends with the air sacs or alveoli. And we said that the alveoli surrounded by blood capillaries. Why? Because blood take carbon dioxide gas from the cell and remove it in the air sacs, and take oxygen from the air sacs to the blood to give it to all body cell to burn the food. Burning food happens or occurs inside the cell. Cell is the building unit of the human body. So inside the cell take oxygen from the blood and mix it with food and make respiration process and produce energy and carbon dioxide gas and water vapor. This carbon dioxide, the blood take it and give it to the air inside alveoli, and we expelled it out of the body through exhalation process. So the respiration process divided into inhalation process and exhalation process. During exercises, if you run, what happened to you? This is why. This is more respiration. Why? To get more oxygen, to make more burning for food, to get more energy, to obtain more energy. Make this activity with your friends. First, record the rate of respiration during sitting. After that, during walking. After that, during running. What do you notice? Do you notice that during running, more than the number of respiration during walking, more than the number of respiration during sitting? It means during activity or during exercises, what happens? The number of respiration increases. This is an important reason why, to obtain more energy, to make more activity. So the number of respiration increases during activity to get or to obtain more energy. Okay? Also, you noted that the respiration process includes two processes. Inhalation process, the rib cage move upwards, and exhalation process, the rib cage move downwards. To know the mechanism of respiration or how the respiration occurs or takes place, First, we make the activity. First, we design this model. This model, we bring the bottle to present the rib cage, and the two balloons represent the lungs, and rubber membrane, this is represent the diaphragm muscle. Okay? We noted that when we pull the balloon or rubber membrane downwards, what happens? The air will enter the balloon and the volume of the balloon increases because air enters the balloon. This is like inhalation process. And when we leave the rubber membrane, we noted that the air expelled out from the balloon and the volume of the balloon decreases. This is like in exhalation process. Let's see this video. In this video, when I push the rubber membrane upwards, what happens? The air moves from the balloon. This is like exhalation process. If I pull it downwards, what happens? The air will enter the balloon like the lungs. This is exhalation. This is inhalation. Exhalation, inhalation. Let's identify what happens in details. This is the human body. First, in inhalation process. In inhalation process, what happens? Just a minute, please. Yes. Okay, in inhalation process, what happens? The diaphragm muscles contracts and move downwards. Also, the rib cage moves upward. In this case, the chest cavity increases or enlarges or expands, or thoracic cavity expands. So the air enters the lungs to take oxygen. This is inhalation process. After that, when we leave the diaphragm muscle or the rubber membrane, what happens? It relaxes and moves upwards. When it moved upwards, what happens? Also, the rib moves downwards and the rib cage becomes narrow. Then the air contains carbon dioxide gas expelled out your body through the nose. It means what? Inhalation process. What is the inhalation? It is the process by which oxygen gas enters the lung through the nose. يبقى inhalation, oxygen enters the lungs. Okay? طب what happens during this process? The diaphragm muscle contracts and moves downwards, and the rib cage moves upwards, and the chest cavity or thoracic cavity enlarges or becomes bigger, and inhaled air enters the lungs through nose. The opposite occurs in the exhalation process. It means the exhalation process, it is a process by which carbon dioxide gas and water vapor expelled out the lungs through nose or nasal cavity. Nose means nasal cavity. يبقى in exhalation process, carbon dioxide gas and water vapor expelled out the lungs through nose. What happens during this exhalation process? The diaphragm muscles relaxes and moves upwards. The rib cage moves downwards. The chest cavity becomes narrow or becomes smaller. Then the expelled air or exhaled air exit out or expelled out the lung through the nose, which contains carbon dioxide gas and water vapor. This is called exhalation process. Let's repeat again. in inhalation process, what happens? Air contains oxygen enter the lungs. But in exhalation process, air contains carbon dioxide gas and water vapor expelled out from the lungs through nose. What happens to the diaphragm? The diaphragm muscles contracts in inhalation process and moves downwards. So the chest cavity become enlarges or expands. So the air enters the lungs. Also the rib cage or the ribs moves out upward. Notice that the diaphragm muscle, if the diaphragm muscles moves down, the rib cage moves up to become bigger. The chest cavity become bigger or become enlarges. So the diaphragm moves the opposite of the rib cage. يعني when the diaphragm muscles move downwards, contracts, move downwards, the rib cage moves upwards. This is in inhalation process. But in exhalation process, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward. In this case, the rib cage moves downward. The chest cavity become narrow and expelled the air. Okay? So, let's detect the expelled air contains carbon dioxide gas. We use lime water. The lime water used to detect carbon dioxide gas. If there is carbon dioxide gas in expelled air, it becomes milky or turbid. So when we blow the air, exhaled air in the lime water, we noted that the lime water becomes turbid. This means the exhaled air contains carbon dioxide gas. يبقى give reason that when we blow the exhaled air in a test tube contain lime water, it becomes turbid because the exhaled air contains carbon dioxide gas. So lime water becomes turbid or milky. We used lime water to detect the presence of carbon dioxide gas. If it becomes milky, it means there is a carbon dioxide gas. Okay? Also, to detect the exhaled air contains water vapor, we bring a mirror and blow in front of this mirror. We noted that there is some droplets of water formed in the mirror. Why this water formed? Because the water vapor comes from exhaled air, condense means changes into water. When it met cold surface like a mirror. So the condensation of water vapor on the mirror surface forming the water droplets. So the exhaled air contains water vapor. Okay? Let's identify the exchange of gases during inhalation and exhalation process. We said that the inhaled air contains oxygen and exhaled air contains carbon dioxide gas. First, we breathe in air contain oxygen gas. The blood takes this oxygen and carries oxygen gas to distribute it to all body cells. Inside the cell, burning food occurs or happens to get energy. So inside the cell, the respiration process occurs and produces carbon dioxide gas and water vapor. Also, blood takes this carbon dioxide gas and water vapor and carry them to the lungs to expel this carbon dioxide gas and water vapor during exhalation process. So this is called exchange of gases. Exchange of gases occurs between what? Between blood capillaries which surround the alveoli. We said before that trachea divided into two bronchi. Each bronchus divided into small bronchioles. Each bronchioles ends with tiny air sac. Tiny air sac called alveoli. This alveoli surrounds by blood capillaries. Surrounded by blood capillaries, and it has thin wall to allow exchange of gases occurs. The exchange of gases from what? The blood in blood capillaries take first oxygen gas. Blood in blood capillaries take oxygen gas and distribute it to all body cell. In the cell, respiration process or burning the food occurs or takes place, and then the blood takes the carbon dioxide gas and water vapor and give it to the air sacs or to alveoli to get rid of it through exhalation process. So the exchange of gases occurs between air in alveoli and blood in blood capillaries. Blood take oxygen from air in alveoli and remove carbon dioxide gas and water vapor to alveoli. Then the lungs expelled air containing carbon dioxide gas and water vapor through exhalation process. This is called exchange of gases. The exchange of gases means blood takes oxygen from air in the alveoli and remove carbon dioxide gas which formed inside the cell during burning the food to get energy. Okay? And we said that during exercises or during activity, the rate of respiration increases to get or to obtain more energy. The change of gases occurs or takes place or happens in alveoli between air in alveoli which contain oxygen gas and blood in blood capillaries which contains carbon dioxide gas and water vapor. Blood remove carbon dioxide and take oxygen. This is called exchange of gases. Today we will talk about how to keep your respiratory system healthy. To be healthy and respire well, you should avoid being in a crowded or poor ventilation places, because if all of us take the oxygen and remove carbon dioxide gas, so we breathe hardly. There is not enough oxygen, which harm our respiratory system. So to keep our respiratory system healthy, we should avoid being in crowded or poor ventilation places. And also we should keep off the severe cold or strong cold to keep our respiratory system healthy. We should eat fruits rich in vitamin C, such as orange and guava, to protect yourself from cold. We should eat fruit contains vitamin C, such as orange and guava, to protect yourself from cold. To protect yourself from cold or to keep your respiratory system healthy. And also you should stop smoking or being a passive smoker. A passive smoker means you become with smoker. In this case, you become a passive smoker. So you should stop smoking or being a passive smoker, because it leads to cancer-causing death. How we can keep our respiratory system healthy? Stop smoking and being passive smoker. Eat fruits rich in vitamin C, such as orange and guava. Keep off a severe cold, and avoid being in crowded or poor ventilation places, because there is not enough oxygen to breathe it. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.